You probably won't show up here, although Palafox does play a decent amount of assassins, but Twisted Fate has been let through. This is one of the champions that have previously had a super high percentage of bans, Twisted Fate along with LeBlanc. And as we started talking about Palafox and his assassin play, that very well could be an angle to go for. Try and put kill pressure on it. See if CLG want to do a combination, though, on red side. Diana Yasuo is also available, and Yasuo win wall is quite nice for playing against Twisted Fate.
It is. We'll see if they pick it on 2 or 3. I actually like the TF pickup here for 100 Thieves. It's going to be his first pick of the champion on the year. I was talking with Huhi earlier today. He was watching the games really closely. He said it felt like Abbeddage was frustrated with how slow the game was going. Like, he's doing these flash engages, but, like, there's no kills. Like, they're winning, but nothing's going on. And so now he's got the tools to say, we're starting it off, right? I'm going to the bot lane, we're finding the pick off, and it's going to give him a lot more agency in starting these fights out and getting things rolling, so could feel comfortable there as Jinx is locked in for CLG.
So I like how CLG did not expend their second early ban here, or second early pick on the Yasuo quite yet. As you said, they can just pick it on 3 before the bans come in if they really want this combination, which generally you do if you're early picking Diana. And they instead early picked up Luger's Jinx. This is something we highlighted super heavily yesterday. Didn't come to fruition because the Caitlyn was left unbanned. But this champion has been so successful for this CLG bottom lane, and they are the powerhouse of this lineup. Will say that becomes more difficult when you're facing into a Twisted Fate, and that's why I really like 100 Thieves. They put immediate priority on trying to get a mid lane champion that can affect that bottom lane, so Abba can get some early plays off the ground.
Gwen locked in. You mentioned Diana Yasuo as a possibility, could look good in a Twisted Fate. And as it's going to be locked in, Diana Yasuo in for CLG.
And that's because it is a great, team fighting combo, but it's also a great matchup into Twisted Fate. Because of the win wall, Yasuo can trade very effectively. So let's take a look at the progression here, because top lane, you're already most probably dealing with Ssumday's Gwen. He has always been the one on this team to play it. It's definitely a super comfortable champion for him, and they're saving closer's jungle pick. Yes, it can be flexed into jungle, but I think that's very unlikely with 100 Thieves.
Alrighty, second round of bans come across. Not fully mirrored roles here, so yeah, expecting to see more jungle bans at a CLG, top lane bans to cover if they need anything to help out the Gwen. Keep in mind, Gwen is a flexible pick, of course. We saw the Cloud9 look with the mid-Ivern, not going to be happening here with TF, but I really do like Gwen jungle a lot if you're willing to put a lot of resources into her to get her fed.
Yeah, and if you don't care about the early playmaking, which a Twisted Fate team, it actually has Twisted Fate giving the ability to set up plays for the Gwen, and you can try and play off of pressure, but I would definitely like to see it combined with something more, a little bit more playmaking there. Let's take a look, though. The Jarvan also comes through. That's one of those ones where gold card into Jarvan combo, like, it's just so guaranteed. The only kind of variance that you have with Jarvan early game is if you miss your combo, then you don't have any of the early impact. But even with the Thresh banned away from Poome, the common pairing there with Jinx, he can go with the offensive one. These are the ones that I know you personally prefer. At the last second, away from the Rakan, no kill combo for locking up with the Flame Jumpers, and it will be CLG. So much investment in team fight here. Diana Yasuo combo for mid jungle, plus Jinx Lulu here. When Diana and Yasuo get level 6, that'll be their time to shine. So I like 100 Thieves kind of pushing that timeline up and saying, yes, we do want a playmaking jungler with our Twisted Fate. Pre-6, they can get stun combinations, try and pick somebody off as well if they can get some early wave control. But Palafox, I do have confidence in his Yasuo.
I do too. I think it's going to be a really good look here. CLG played a really tight game against FlyQuest. 100 Thieves, of course, got their win over Team Liquid, which was an impressive road for them as well. The question is it really going to be an FBI game? Jhin is not typically your big carry. Sett's going to be locked in at support. That's going to look good.
I always love when Huhi locks in Sett specifically, because through all of the iterations of support Sett, Huhi has been the very best LCS player at making those plays. This is one of the champions where people first started to recognize and give accolades to the 100 Thieves bottom lane as a duo, because Huhi shown so prolifically on this champion. He plays it very aggressively with the Hex Flash, constant plays coming out from the bottom side of the map, and playing that into Jinx Lulu. With having a Twisted Fate and Jhin on your team, there is no surprise here. 100 Thieves bottom lane want to retain their crown as best in the LCS. They're looking very, very aggressive here with this lineup. Definitely consider Abbeddage trying to get some openings from mid lane so that he can get his teleports down to the bottom side, which leads me to believe Luger may pick up a cleanse just for those scenarios. You've got a Jhin in lane, snares can be cleansed, Twisted Fate gold cards can be cleansed. Keep those safe for later. And Jenkins, this one, his Kennen one-trick days coming back to fruition here for CLG. It does mean you have double AP in a Diana-Yasuo combination. Sometimes people really like to have the solo AP for Diana to get that giant burst damage on the combination here, but Jenkins is so at home on Kennen. We really want to see if he can actually get that early wave control versus Gwen.
Super early should look pretty decent, of course. Gwen gonna have a hard time forcing any kills onto him. And then, hey, team fight power, obviously good. Hoping for the full offensive build out of the Kennen. Looking at, the early rocket belt, Shadow Flame second, Death Cap third, and just, one shot the team could look good.
And I do like it into the Gwen because you want to get close and you'll get inside of the Gwen W to be able to get your combination off, get the stun off. Probably will be more towards some team plays, though.
Yeah.
Especially as the game goes on, don't want to 1v1 her.
But probably survives the tower dive, and that's good enough if all you're trying to do is get better team fighting. So, on to the Rift we go for game 1 of the day. 100 Thieves, currently 100% win rate. CLG sadly off with a loss, though I do still consider them a promising team here in the LCS, but against stiff competition. Reigning LCS champions, currently 1-0.
And I think the story with this CLG, because, in the offseason, very clearly CLG, the organization blew up everything associated with last year.
Yep. All staff,
management,
all
coaching staff, players, just everything that even touched last year, they burned it to the ground. So they want no memory of that. And they want this to be a completely fresh, new era of CLG. And everyone always mentions the potential with this team, which is kind of a reoccurring theme of the organization. But it is very clearly still potential with this because there are a decent amount of errors that come out, especially with some of the aggressive plays. That also is what's giving people hope. An aggressive CLG team with a lot of room to grow. The question is, when will that room to grow actually turn into wins on stage?
Right, because you still have to grow up to the point where you are getting wins. You can't just wait 2 years to put a W, down on the record. So see if that one comes through. Shout out Amadamonte. Shout out Tanner Damonte himself. Saw him in the studio today, wearing his CLG jersey, of course.
Big fan.
Yeah, great guy. Apollo's here as well. So always fun to see players who aren't, competing right now, but are still around. Always a big fan of those two specifically. And right now, bot lane pressure appears to be, for now, with the Jhin. Poome has gone for Spell Thieves, is going for the more aggressive option, thinks they will be able to harass Huhi in this lane.
And Huhi tries to position aggressively here up through the brush, allowing FBI the push on the wave. You can see them trying to deal with it here, but it will be the early level 2 for 100 Thieves as they push forward. And it is top side start for both junglers. Contractz actually skipped Krug. So Diana very commonly does full clears, but you can tell Contractz wants to be down around to protect bottom side once again. This was also true in game number 1 for CLG. Trying to spend some early resources in this position.
Jenkins won that by a lot, by the way. He was like, I'm ready for you to jump and EQ me someday, and says, I've got Lightning Rush already on. There's the W auto. Yeah, thanks very much. That's 400 damage down. Guess I won the lane already. As Palafox in a fight with Abbeddage holds the wind wall, and looks like he will not quite block CS. Cannon will drop.
I think this is the most interesting matchup of the game, is the Yasuo into Twisted Fate. As we mentioned, the wind wall is one of the best tools for Yasuo in the early stages. You want to get control of the minion wave. Palafox uses it aggressively for those trades with the E, and then gets it pushing, but it requires jungle attention. And so in the earlier stages, before your level 6s, the Diana-Yasuo combination is a lot about controlling the mid wave and the vision. Post 6, obviously, it's about combining the ultimates for the kill, but it looks like they will be able to finish the crab before bottom lane pressure actually leaks up the river. Yeah. So the timing window's working out quite nicely for the CLG duo thus far. Now you can have the Diana get back into the jungle, finish up on the Krugs, go for the first reset, and you kind of bridge the early gap here. Top lane already being pushed in too, should definitely mean Closer gets the top side Scuttle Crab. And actually, believe he saw the, he did not see the ward get placed down, so is not going to correctly Scryer's Bloom over it.
Recalls on a ward. Palafox might get his third Q up and maybe can stop the recall. Not going to happen. Now doesn't have it charged up. So, safe lead back to the base. Jungler's getting pretty soon. That's farm. Although Diana does get to grab her full Krugs on the way out. So, Contractz well farming here. Diana, one of the junglers who scales pretty well throughout the game. So can be worth putting resources into. Certainly, in a lot of cases, is the bigger threat than the Yasuo in these team comps.
And because of the route, red Raptors down to blue side, and traversing all the way back for the reverse clear there after the crab, he can finish off second clear before basing for the first time, and getting decently close to his breakpoints. Actually, he did Gromp first down there, so it's going to be the early pickup for Blasting Wand. This is a pretty good early pickup for Diana because it does help out on your clear with the pure AP rather than the Alternator, which has a decent amount of health on it and isn't going to help you clear faster to your level 6 breakpoint. Yeah,
and might have free boots there, so not a lot of things you can buy to go for, like boots, amp tome or something, which, also has its own level of value. So off we go, clearing bot to top, and then no camps up for the Diana. Zhao gonna go back through his side of the map. Looks like waiting for the Raptors to come back up with the Krugs waiting in the wing. Pretty nice scenario from the Diana perspective. We're just looking at jungle matchup here. For a Zhao to be slightly down in CS and not having gotten any effective ganks off. No summoners blown, no skirmishes over the crab where they were punished. But it's really going to be telling the next few minutes because that's when mid laners are going to get their level 6s, and we're going to have possibility for the Twisted Fate play towards bottom side that we've been hyping up for 100 Thieves, and the reverse of the Diana Yasuo combination. They'd love to skirmish the 2v2 around mid lane at that point. Yes, indeed. Zat takes a 14 CS cast minion wave, going to be collected in front of the turret, but you got to point out the fact that you've got still about a 10 CS lead for FBI in the bottom lane.
Yeah, 100 Thieves bottom lane have been pushing quite nicely. Let's see, there's 6 here, including the Kennen. Doesn't get the Kennen, so that one burns a little. And bottom lane, again, this is where 100 Thieves' eyes are. It is cleanse taken as we thought it would be from champion select here, so definitely the safety is there, but it still means you're going to get pushed in, you're going to give up the dragon.
Got to point out the phase rush on Huhi as well, which means probably if he goes for a flash stun combo, triggers phase rush, it gets behind the target and ults him back into the squad. Flash not needed on the back half of that one. So he can be a big playmaker, will be a bit squishy, but that's okay. He's going for the big plays. We know Huhi is great at this champion. Closer gonna go ahead, convert his smite, grab the first dragon of the game. Thank you for the extra stats, armor, MR on the board.
Yeah, going to be an interesting setup here with 100 Thieves to see how they can actually leverage this bottom lane advantage, because Luger and Poome have been playing so safe, saving both summoner spells, not giving the opening here for Abbeddage. It would have to be a really big setup play from FBI and Huhi to give him an opening, since they're so far back and he's got double summoners. So should continue pretty smoothly from the point of view of CLG.
Though neither team has a lot of river vision. You can see how far back CLG is actually playing. They don't think they have a hope in the 2-on-2. I don't know if it's, obviously Abbeddage got an L7, but he's under his tower right now, so it's not TF right away, but if they're afraid of closer maybe being there, if they're afraid of the 2-on-2 being just too good, it's going to be CLG dropping CS in this bottom lane for a while.
Yeah, and it looks like it's at the mid dive combination.
Good flash, gets away from the down, and a flashback to safety. I think afraid of being gold carded in front of the tower, but no one was there yet for an answer. Flash for flash, end of the day. Does now mean that the Abbeddage could try to ult to a fight. It'd be hard to answer for Contractz. We'll see if it happens.
Meanwhile, having vision of the Diana, Closer moves over. Nice move across this wall into the pit to start up on this Rift Herald. He knows Diana just flashed and used ultimate, so there's no way CLG want to fight anymore. Objective obtained. Good response there from 100 Thieves, taking advantage of the resources that were used by CLG. And basically, Rift Herald afforded there by Abbeddage on the flash avoidance of the kill.
Quick fingers, even quicker thinking. Well done, Abbeddage, because obviously that, if you don't flash in that quarter-second cast animation, you are just dead. So knew what the play was going to be, was ready for it, and you got to give him credit, because that was going to be first blood, that was going to be first Herald, and all that avoided by good hands.
Yeah, I mean, especially on, tournament realm, 0 ping, if you don't flash the Diana ultimate, then you start to get flamed. So well done there from Abbeddage. He's still got it. And 100 Thieves with the Rift Herald now. And Twisted Fate, they've definitely got a lot of cards to play something. It's just that CLG have been playing so defensively and farming up towards the bottom half. They're not giving an opening, so it comes down to 100 Thieves forcing. And this is a topic for this team. You could track the success of 100 Thieves by how well their bottom lane dives have gone throughout the history of this organization, actually. So if they're able to pull off this Twisted Fate play plus Rift Herald play, then it will bode quite well for this game.
In the meantime, Luger's actually feeling comfortable down there now that the recruits are done. Feels like he can fight a bit more and get some damage down, but keeps the 20 CS dead for it. Want to point out that Jenkins is winning this lane. I mean, this man, I want to be clear, is setting records in CS difference in top lane. Obviously, game 1 was against the Janna, but this one, he's up against Ssumday's Gwen, and he's still got a 23.
This is one of those ones where we got to come up with a new name for the record that he set. You know, the Flame Horizon was the 100 CS over your lane opponent. But what about the
300?
Exactly. What about the Jenkins? The Jenkins Horizon. He's actually. We should really give credit to the Kennen play though, because I know. You know, especially throughout the growth of this player, so many Kennen games. Here's the fight on mid, though.
Zhao ulti for the knock up into the front of Santa, but she's been stunned. Yasuo combo still comes through. Is it going to be enough? Yes, they get one on the board. Rocket coming by as well. Dunk backwards. Huhi going to bring it actually towards safety. Cannot quite find that kill. However, the next shot is Poome. The ult's going to land. The double kill through for Closer. Flashing back to safety now as well. 100 Thieves walk away 2 for 1.
Ooh, that Lulu walked through the wrong side of town. Everybody makes their way up to mid lane. And then it is 100 Thieves coming out 2-1 with the extra kill. Jhin doesn't have to walk as far to be able to have a very big impact up there. And here's a look at, you could tell how much CLG wanted to force the Diana combo because they know Abba has no flash. So Contractz, as soon as he lands the Q, they want to charge through, but Closer gets a big chunk of damage on him. So he's so low by the time they get the combo off that even though they get the kill here, it's definitely going to be a 1-for-1. And then Poome comes right by the Zhao. You are literally a Lulu Enchanter support walking by a Jhin. That is so erroneous. Illegal, in fact, if Keijo has anything to say about it, and Closer takes him to jail.
All right, well, that is a +1 for 100 Thieves. They had a gold lead before this fight. They still got one afterwards. 900 gold earned for the 2 kills they got. 600 for CLG from First Blood. So not terribly different in gold, but obviously the moral victory going to feel pretty good on that one. As thankfully for Palafox, he did get the 400 gold First Blood himself, so he's at least off to the races, going toward that shield though.
Yep, they got their kill on the Twisted Fate. It did cost them a lot though, because both kills onto Closer, the magical footwear came in plus fully upgraded Gore Drinker. So CLG trying to take advantage of the reset here and Jhin showing in mid lane. They do so and split the dragons now, so the stacking won't be such an early issue.
And I gotta say, I really like that Jinx is in this comp for the Diana Yasuo combo, right? Group them together, leave them in the air for a solid full second. That's often enough time for the Jinx rocket to land. We actually saw it in the last clip, for example. She shot it as soon as Diana's hitting R, that rocket is flying out of the gun. Now, he died too fast. If he didn't die so fast, Jinx would have been there and part of the kill. We got to fight in the top side right now, though. As Closer left alone 1v3, ult comes across, Gore Drinker as well. Diana ulti for a bit more, and they're going to find that kill. A valiant fight back, nearly trades out Contractz, but still, top Herald crashes, 3 plates off the tower.
Yeah, your bravery doesn't matter, though, if you die in the end and you give over the bounty. You know, he had both of the early kills. Small bounty at that, but it goes into the hands of Palafox, the Yasuo. This is the worst place for 100 Thieves to give more money over to the CLG combination. If you thought the Diana plus Yasuo plus Jinx ultimate didn't have enough damage to kill before, it's gonna get much worse.
And I mentioned, Kobe, earlier on, sometimes Diana is the actual carry of Diana Yasuo. Yasuo's there to lock them in place so that the ult actually lands from Diana, so you can't flash out of the damage. Not the case anymore, right? This probably is going to be Yasuo dealing a lot of the damage on the team. What's interesting is for solo queue players, for generic play, Yasuo tends to fall off over time because it's hard to set up in team fights and get those big ultis. In this case, he's not going to have that problem. He's always going to have Contractz set up for him.
Now we put the magnifying glass on Palafox and we track, can he get his autos and Qs in before in the small timing window that you have, and then every little bit of extra damage, meaning so much in that combo. Shield bow funded. Thank you so much by the extra donation there on the top side.
800. Yeah, Zerkreeves and a shield bow. Gonna feel good. Does not go Merc Trids even though he's against TF. Going for maximal damage as the Everfrost and a stopwatch are in for Abbeddage. Head over the Raptors, going to 100 Thieves.
Contractz waiting on that cooldown. They've got the Palafox GoFundMe ready.
Tornado ready. Huhi, not gonna immune much of it. Puts the shield out, decent damage. Barely sticks it out and lives. That's a big shield, he walks away.
Now this time, the roam up here from Poome provides plenty of safety, not walking past any of the melee carries, and it is just going to be a pressure positive play for CLG, pushing them out once again. Contractz looking for the Diana ultimate there to finish off the extra kill. They didn't use it, so they still can go with this invade.
Poome gonna get his recall stopped. Board goes down, a little bit of damage, not quite blocked as partial reset, but yeah, they still want to play for this one as Contractz in yet again. 900 health is the mark for the smite. Claims it. And a blast plant to safety is going to be no problem at all. Uh-oh. All right, we got TF coming in. Chopper's there. Gold card gets away from the root and gets away from the stun. And now a flash to safety for Contractz. Gets back over the wall, but is it going to be enough? Palafox now stunned, now left alone. Lulu will not going to be enough, and they're going to find that kill. Trades one back, though, as we've got Ssumday in the mix, but low on health. The dunk in the back line. Huhi sets it up for the squad. FBI knocks out another kill, and now it's time for Poome to fall yet again. Zhao chops him down for the second time this game, and they're on for a bit more. Closer is angry, and Closer going to take down his countrymate. That's going to be a huge fight. 5 kills on the board for Closer. The Bud Light Ace for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves win out because of the coordination. The blast cone actually ended up mattering, freaks. Sometimes the positioning there on the blast cone and someone going off not into the pit and causing you to be separated doesn't matter, but this time it does. Just a little bit the angle. Palafox kept walking, goes down to the bottom side, and so then CLG are split. Poome is so far away from Luger, even though they get the cleanse into Flame Chompers. Abbeddage still has flash to get away, and CLG are completely split. Deep teleport from Jenkins. He tries to follow up on the damage here from Palafox, but look at the top side of the map. In the river, they murder Contractz 3-on-1, and then Poome walks over to try and get a slow onto Ssumday, not giving any credence to Closer once again, who just annihilates him, flashing over the wall to set up the other 2 kills here. Jhin bullets coming through, and Closer gets paid once again. Phreak, this has been the success story for so many 100 Thieves games. 5-1 now on the Jhin.
Yeah, he is gigantic. The lift up the Viego that took away the Diana. Goes with Zhao, still on the hard carry performance. Well done to the 100 Thieves jungler. Question is, does CLG find a way to turn it around? Because it's a 3,000 gold deficit. Third dragon spawning momentarily. CLG wanted to get the word control. They've got every ulti available. Is it going to be enough? Rocket belt up, level 11 Kennen. He can be a huge factor in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the teleport on bottom side would have been good if CLG had been able to group for their combination and actually play off it. But really, really good tempo usage there of the Twisted Fate ultimate to split CLG and force the sectioning off of the Jenkins and Palafox issue here on the bottom side. If they get to coordinate here, CLG can still have a much better looking, team fight, especially if they're able to wait for the flash for Jenkins to come back up. Proto belts are one thing, but having the flash really brings it all together there with Jhin and Twisted Fate being low mobility carries in the backline. 100 Thieves definitely giant upper hand here, and CLG have to say we're praying for a better team fight. We're praying for a late setup here where we can group and get a nice wombo combo to get back into the game.
Second Herald, though. Second Dragon already claimed by 100 Thieves. They have owned the map as the gold touches to 4,000. They're going to find another turret to kill before too long.
It looks like, Phreak, the story for 100 Thieves, forgetting about lock-in, getting knocked out early there is just an aberration. They're picking up right where they left off last year. Looks like they are well on their way to destroying this map. Top side easily picked up after the Rift Herald. You can just continue pushing. Huhi already invading into the jungle to get their deeper vision to make sure you can get full value out of Rift Herald number 2. This thing can gain you so much money. They're going to pop it mid here. That mid charge will take out the turret. And since they already have control of top side with the Twisted Fate, they can force.
He buys a bit of space. Chopper's down to buy some more time. He's on the way out, but he's getting slowed out by Gwen. Another auto's going to land. W comes in, and TF arrives for the rest of it. That is on the kill picked off, and now Ssumday's in with the mix as Contractz gets the pull in. Decent damage. Not gonna matter. Closer finds yet another kill, a rampage. He is huge on his 6th kill.
Woo! 100 Thieves not gonna stop here. Take what's not given to you. They're just gonna take everything off of CLG. Pre-20 minutes, secondary charge will get off as well.
Yeah.
And they can easily reset. So much money now in the pockets of the 100 Thieves players. 5.3 gold advantage.
Can we run that tweet back? Oh, hold on, we gotta replay first. You do it first.
Okay. I mean, it's not super complicated.
Yeah.
As we said, you've got Ripped Herald mid one-shotting the turret, and you have Twisted Fate. So Closer knows all he has to do is run his face into anyone he sees. And guess what? For the 3rd time in this game, he sees Poome, the best target. He hits the W, he charges forward, Abed pops the Twisted Fate ultimate, he joins from the split push on top side. 100 Thieves know how to leverage this giant advantage when you've got the global here and a super fed jungler. Anywhere Jhin goes has to be respected by CLG. They can no longer play this map so recklessly. They have to group up as 5. You literally have to tell your team, we need to group as 5 on Vision. It's our only hope is to get a massive wombo play.
Closer's better. Yeah, I
Is
agree.
this the 2nd time that we've seen another Closer is better tweet? I feel like I just saw that.
We might have. I wanted to bring up the tweet from the very beginning where someone said, so sub 25 minutes? Because we're almost on pace for that one. Where it's like, this Baron could be a Baron winning push if it happens. So, you know, I want that person to get their vindication for calling it pregame.
Yeah.
Pregame Smack Talk is best Smack Talk. If you call the timer, good on you.
Yeah, is it still pregame if we're like halfway through and they're getting demolished? Sub 25, there you go,
See,
Phreak.
that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm bringing back up. Thank you very much. Yeah, Matt, you're almost right.
Let's also queue up another Closer is better tweet for the next kill that he gets.
Yes, because he will continue to probably be better. 6, 1, and 3, 100% KP. Zhao, pretty strong. Turns out 100 Thieves also pretty good jungle team.
Yeah, it's very difficult to deal with because when a champion like this gets fed, that has the ultimate for an easy opening of immunity. Gwen plus Jhin front lines don't actually even have to soak damage.
Contractz. Rocket belts to safety. That feels bad.
As we said, Closer can just run his face into anyone. You've got a Twisted Fate backing you up, and you're so fed that you're always going to get cooldowns out of the opponent team. Diana Flash is definitely a critical one because if everything for CLG relies on their giant wombo combo, heroic comeback play, now you have one less tool to pull that play off with.
And the waves just die. Twisted Fate, 191 CS, but Palafox is getting his farm. He's on 2 items, so the IE power spike is in. 100% crit chance, but the problem is 100 Thieves are playing aggressively enough that it can't be CLG who aggress. If you're diving in on Diana, keep in mind, if you have gold locked and you right-click, she can't E-ult you. You will be stunned before the ult animation gets to start, so you don't get to combo that if TF's ready.
I mean, League of Legends becomes one of those spy games now. It's try and use Fog of War, group up as 5, sneak on through. Where's Solid Snake box? We need a little bit of help here to try and get one of these AoE plays off. Uh-oh, looks like 100 Thieves saw them heading up there.
Exclamation point. Hang on, something's wrong. We're in alert mode. They're on the hunt. Are they gonna find him? Hiding in the brush. 100 Thieves putting the wards down. Know what's going on here. Hoping they have the rations to lick their wounds and heal back up as the dragon's alive. And guess what? 100 Thieves gonna claim it. Now CLG at least going for something else on the map. I'm surprised they're looking for this fight, but they're gonna try to get a 5-on-5. Is it going to work? Is this the one where Contractz gets in, starts the fight, rooted in place, half HP, in goes Zhao, and that's a Zhonya's burned out. Contractz cannot get in on these fights. And Ssumday waiting in the wings for the flank to set it all up in the end. Low health for Closer. Does get the objective, and now we get the dunk in for Huhi. TF over the wall as well. In comes Kennen, big damage, and Jenkins gets 1 kill. Looking for trading 1 back as Ssumday fights in the back line. 2nd kill for Ssumday, but Abbeddage gonna lose his life. No, a great flash to safety, and that means Palafox is left alone. Almost CLG got what they wanted, but it ends up 3 for 1.
And a triple kill for the Gwen, 2-item Gwen. Ssumday once again living that split push dream. He goes right to bottom side. Look at that map. He knows they can easily push every single lane, and they're even looking for Luger.
Yeah, that's a real tough place to navigate. Cannot get away. Red buff handed over. Thank you very much. 100 Thieves absolutely crushing CLG.
Yeah, let's just open up the thesaurus here, look for some more alternative words to use and repeat, because 100 Thieves with purple will be marching on those inhibitor turrets here. Poome, can he make the hero play? It's one Lulu versus the world.
I have seen support queues steal Barons before. There's always a chance.
It's not looking good, Phreak.
Channel your
It's
inner
not looking
blood.
good.
Can you make it happen? He's on the wrong side of the map. He's nowhere near the Baron, and he's not going to get the steal. Closer gets yet another objective onto his side. 3 dragons to 1. Baron claimed now as well. It won't be sub 25, but it's about to be a dub for 100 Thieves.
Certainly is. Now, we can start evaluating, too, the topic we brought up in the beginning of this game as far as the progression for this CLG team. Because I actually really like the strategy that they went with, reacting, giving up the Twisted Fate pick early, looking for the combos. Let's go over this fight first, though. Because they chunk out Contractz so early, they get the Zhonya's and the Lulu ultimate. 2 big defensive, not going to be available for the re-engage. They then kind of give up this dragon, looking for the Jinx ultimate steal on the explosion there. Don't get it, and now they're under attack again.
Abbeddage wants to get in range for the gold card, gets the first stun. The root's going to fall up for Jhin every time, and another root into a dunk across the wall, trying to set it up, and Huhi just executes one, and Jin's going to execute another. Palafox tries his hardest, decent damage, finds 1 kill, wants another, he's stunned, and they're here for the reinforcements. Zhonya saves the life of Abbeddage, a valiant attempt, but another 3-for-1 favoring 100 Thieves.
And they still have almost 2 minutes worth of this Baron buff. So when you get 2 people picked off trading for 1, you're gonna get extra rewards as well. Closer Ssumday, the Bash brothers, rich as usual, continuing to inflate that economy for 100 Thieves as well.
25-30, 2 minutes till Ocean Soul. Still a minute and a half of this Baron buff. You have to imagine they probably crack at least an inhibitor. Oh, you missed the cannon. Abbeddage, no longer MVP. Sorry.
Ooh, I like the double stopwatch picked up here for Ssumday as well.
Yeah,
Gwen already is so insanely difficult for this CLG squad to try and navigate around. And Ssumday's approaching that level 16 with double immunities, triple immunities, actually, if you count the W as well. Then, honestly, I feel like he's worth probably 3 members of the opponent team. I would take that bet.
Wow. Ssumday versus any 3 on CLG? I just take Diana, Yasuo, Kennen, and it kills the entire squad at once.
I take it. He's Zhonya's. He's Zhonya's.
I mean, he'll immune some damage, unless, you combo them together in the CC layers forever.
I want to see it. How do I get an all chat? Yo, meet me at Baron Pit. I wish we could actually leverage this in games like this where you're getting smashed so hard. It's like the losing team actually has an incentive to actually accept some of these, and you're allowed to wager something.
Okay.
Hey, if we win the bet, then you have to give us a couple of these gold bounties. Both outer turrets are the prize if you win one of the challenges.
What does 100 Thieves get when they win the 1v3?
They get to live a little, Phreak. Live on the edge.
That's not a great deal. At some point, it's gonna bite you.
Yeah, maybe they need a more incentive. You get an advantage for the next matchup.
Yeah, oh gosh. Here, we won't ban 2 champions, in week 7 we meet again.
All right.
I mean, that's just positive for 100 Thieves. Yeah, I'd take that every time.
Back to sneaky game mode here for CLG.
Already.
Maybe you can try and leech a level 16
try.
somewhere, looking
Knock
for the
up.
pick.
Good's well-timed stun. He needed to windwall that one, but he still got the Diana combo, but the Zhonya's comes across. He was still stunned and couldn't ulti across. Diana finds one. Down goes Twisted Fate. Are we going to find more is the question. Rooted in place. Now Poome going to block some shots. Dunk comes across, and a solo kill comes through for Ssumday. FBI finds another, and yet again, 3 kills to 1 as CLG runs for their lives. Poome and Jenkins trying to live as long as they can. Gwen heading back to the base and knocks some stuff down. FBI Gale Force auto Q. Thank you for kill number 4. And Jenkins just running for his life. Lightning rushing away, trying to stay alive. There's a tower in his stead, and that means Jenkins will fall. It will be yet another ace. Another kill goes to FBI, and guess what? It's time for the inhibitors to fall.
It's time for the inhibitors to fall. It's time for the Ocean Soul to be acquired by 100 Thieves as well. All this being said, with the advantage that 100 Thieves have, CLG have no choice but to try and force on an early opening for a play, right? You're hoping, okay, we've got everybody grouped. Maybe we can pick them off. Maybe 100 Thieves have, someone straggling behind and you can try and snowball back in. Those are the types of risks even though it has a very low chance of you winning and actually performing in that team fight, you have to actually take the chance to have any hope of coming back into the game. So much better than just waiting at your turrets and slowly dying, because you know 100 Thieves are just going to march on in if you don't try and attack them.
Good luck next time. Your comp is always trying to do one-shots, so you can try to kill him before the regen really kicks in and does much for you. Death's Dance now in for Palafox, so sustains some of the physical damage a little bit better. It is double AD. Pretty reasonable there, and can delay his death. Of course, we are still on 12.2, by the way. It is the really OP Sterix. Death's Dance does not yet delay magic damage. That's going to be next week, which I'm excited for, because I feel like we will see a pretty big meta shift over the course of a couple of weeks once those changes hit, because you don't have the same kind of front line from fighters with Core Drinker Sterix. Yeah, my initial thoughts was I was also excited because I love trying stuff like that in solo queue.
Yeah.
Luger into root, into Q, finally gets away with the Gale Force. Question is there another pick afterwards? Good sidestep by Poome. Gold card not quite in range.
It's interesting, yeah, because I think Death's Dance, the new version, being working on magic damage as well, is going to be OP for solo queue, especially for junglers with the dream of hard carrying.
Yeah.
But for pro, that stuff always has such a lower chance of working out. So maybe it is more of a top laner type of carry issue. Especially with the possibilities of top laners now getting so much gold.
Right. On an island, getting farm, right? And then showing up for the team fights. Rocket going to be blocked. Well done by Huhi. And this Baron isn't even dealing damage back. Goodbye. Yes, deleted. Contractz, and the duration of the gold card stun goes from full to dead. Just two of them knock him down.
Sometimes you gotta admire, the willingness here of the CLG players, knowing that they're gonna die, walking head first into it, try and make the play, gets locked up, and there's another one.
Looks like Wind Wall was down, has nothing to block, and that's another kill picked up, 2-0. Baron on the board already, and it's time to end the game. 31 minutes on the map, and CLG running away, killing some wards. Where's TF going? To the bottom side. Hello, Jenkins gets out of range. Got on just in case. Gwen shows up now as well. Good damage. I mean, he forces the zone as he sidesteps the ulti. Nearly has the kill, but it's not going to happen. A valiant effort for the CLG top lane. 100 Thieves are just too much for them. Back into the fountain they go. Luger tries to get some damage across, but the Nexus will fall. 30 minutes in the game. 100 Thieves 2-0, taking down CLG. A perfect weekend to start the 2022 season.
Certainly that. Can they pull off the
Yasuo. First Herald comes out of the kill, right? That game looks very different for the next 5 minutes off of a quarter-second mechanical play, and that could have looked very different if it snowballed.
And I will also say, the Diana is split into two, so the damage is more delayed, but the knockback, the knock-up is instant. So you have to do it as you see the Diana charging in. Well done.
And then Yasuo combos, and you're guaranteed to take both sets of damage, and it's just too late, right? If you flash out, you're at 20 HP, they flash follow, and everything happens. So
what did we learn today?
We learned Abbeddage has good hands, right? Like, I do not want to, I don't think I can overstate how important that play was. I think the game looks very different if he's a little bit slower on that play. He looks good, aggressive, right? He was ulting off cooldown, and the FBI Jhin had so much damage because he was always in range to land some 2500 range W to follow up, and that looked really, really good. They are still incredibly dominant 2-on-2. This game wasn't about the bot lane dives. They won a heads up. Yeah, at some point Closer showed, at some point TF showed, but the 2-on-2 already won for 100 Thieves, so they're really impressive still.
Also, be very careful if you're in the current meta and you're playing these enchanter supports when you're roaming mid. You are a very big target because you're so squishy. So you have to give proper safety, positioning, distance, any threats.
Yeah. Talk with Osha, make sure you're the right place away from the threats. Wear a hard hat at all times. 100 Thieves continue their dominance here in spring, and now it's time